Hello, my loves. Welcome to your weekly pick a card reading. If you don't know how this works, we've got 3 sets of cards here. I just choose different objects as a visual guide. We have set number 1, set number 2, set number 3. So take a moment to see which set you're more drawn to. You might find that you are drawn to more than one set or all 3 of them. There is no wrong answer here. And so we're going to get started and see what your cards say for our reading this week. So we're going to start with set number 1. Knocking things around here. All right. So we have got the ever unfolding rose. Nice. Okay, that's going to bother me. 3 of cups. Beautiful. The star. Very lovely. And Wheel of Fortune. Nice. You know, as I'm unveiling these cards here, all of a sudden David Bowie's song Changes just went right through my head, and that is the energy here. Changes are happening. Let me read you the blurb from this card. It says, "The ever unfolding rose, cracked open, it is happening for you, not to you." This reminds me a lot of the Tower card, that energy of, you know, something big happening, maybe an upheaval, big changes occurring in your life, and they can be hard, and it's not always comfortable or easy, and it can feel like, why me? But a lot of times these things need to happen to get you grounded and to get you to a better place. And that's what I'm feeling here. Changes are happening to bring you to something a lot better. And you may not be feeling so amazing about it right now, but you're being asked to have faith because things are happening for your highest good. I love seeing the 3 of Cups here right now because we are in this moment of social distancing, right? And this is like the social card. This is the get together with your friends card. This is like the go out and have, like, you know, a ladies' night or guys' night or friends' night, you know, however, you know, that works for you. But don't do that, because the 3 of Cups also comes with a message to resist overindulgence. But it gives me a giggle just at this moment in history that came up. But I feel that you are really, things are changing for you. Your luck is changing. With the Wheel of Fortune, you know, it reminds us that life is a cycle. You know, good things happen and things aren't so good, or things really suck and then they get better. And what we can do, you know, things happen to us often, and we can't always change what's happening to us, you know. And again, like with this energy here, you have to remember that sometimes the crappy things happen to us because something better, you know, we need to make the room for something better. And so while you may feel like you can't always control things, you have to look at what you can control. And oftentimes for many people, the only thing they can control is how they react to a situation or how fast you roll with the changes that are going on. Now with the Star card, there is also this message of making sure that you're really connected with your intuition, and that you are willing to be connected, and that you're not afraid of your intuition. You're not afraid of your inner guidance. Like, you know, something deep, you know, if you've got something in your gut that's saying, let's do this, or this is the best thing for us, or this isn't so great, you know, take a moment to really, really listen to it and be connected to it, and make sure that you're not losing that part of yourself. But I feel that while things are changing for you, and it could be that it's a little bit rough for you right now, and you have this feeling of wanting to resist the change, try not to, because this is eventually for something better, and something better is definitely going to be unfolding and blooming out of this. You know, like this rose, those petals are opening and unfolding, and I feel that you are also opening and unfolding and blooming, like you're in the middle of that process right now. In addition, there is, you know, like I said, we're being asked to be a little bit more mindful of our social interactions right now. These girls, you know, they are all holding these little goblets here, but hey, it could be hand sanitizer. They may be sanitizing their hands or washing their hands. So please remember to take care of your health, take care of yourself, and make sure that you're not overindulging in that. with the idea of our social interactions, you might have to get more creative about how you are dealing with people right now, because we're being asked to kind of like, keep a distance. So maybe you were going to get together with your friends, but you don't want to like go out into a big crowd. So maybe instead you come up with like a Skype session or a Zoom session, something like that. Start exchanging letters after you've disinfected your envelopes and everything. But coming up with more creative ways to communicate with your friends, your loved ones, and everybody else in the world. Coming up with more creative ways, maybe if possible, to work from home or to do your classwork from home, creative communication, creative contact, creative connection, see how you can be inspired by other people's ideas, and what can you do to inspire other people in a more creative way as we're all navigating, this little crisis that's going on in the world. But take care of yourself, take care of yourself physically, and take care of yourself internally. Take care of yourself emotionally, take care of your intuition. And please, just as things are going on and things seem uncertain, as best you can, try to keep the faith. The Star card has a big message of hope and faith and optimism. And, with this energy, it's like, yes, things are happening. Yes, things are changing. The wheel is turning. Have faith in how it's going to work out. Have faith that something better is coming your way, and that you are definitely going to have cause to celebrate. All in all, I think that's beautiful energy. I really love this set of cards. Have faith. Changes, while uncomfortable, they can be good. All right, set number 2. We have got Pillar of Light. All right. The Queen of Swords in reverse. All right. The Page of Cups in reverse. Wow, I'll get some internal stuff going on here. Jesus. Okay, and the 8 of Cups in reverse. Wow, you are deep in it. Okay. All right, so I don't want to say alarm bells. So please, I'm not inciting panic, okay? I'm not the news. I'm not trying to, inspire any kind of hysteria, anything like that with what I'm going to say. I have these alarm bells going off in my head looking at these 3 cards in particular, and I know why this one is here. And it is just simply like, if I could just stop this reading here and say to you 3 little words, it would be trust your gut. Now, the set before you also had a reading that encouraged connection with the intuition, and you're getting a very similar message for different readings, different meanings. I feel right now that there's some very deep emotions going on, and you might not, I don't think that you're acknowledging them because they're not comfortable. Some of you actually, I feel that you are in a situation that's very unhealthy. And with the Page of Cups, there can be an indication of almost like an abusive situation. And abuse does not always happen in romantic relationships. Abusive situations can happen at work. They can happen among friends and whatnot. It's that uneven power dynamic that's going on. So I feel that you're there, but I feel that there's also this resistance to acknowledgement about the reality of the situation. And we are all given, we are all blessed with intuition. We are all blessed with, gut feelings and inner wisdom. It's not just like somebody like me. Like, I'm not more talented than somebody because I'm a tarot reader and I have a connection to my intuition. We are all blessed with this. It's just that the way our world is set up these days and the way our culture tends to be set up is that we're more encouraged to disconnect from our intuition and to disconnect from our emotions in, those healthy ways. So, you have this intuition and you're really being asked to use it. And let me just read the blurb on this card because I realized I didn't. It says, your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. And this is reminding you that you have your own abilities to see things for how they really are, even if it's not evident to you physically, and you're being asked, like, very firmly here to trust your gut and to accept the reality of a situation. Now, as I said, the Page of Cups can sometimes indicate that you are in an abusive situation or recovering from abusive situation. Sometimes this is recovering from childhood abuse. Sometimes the Queen of Swords can also indicate somebody who is abusive. So I feel like there are a few of you in a situation that does fit that criteria. And you may not have been able to really see, or may not have been wanting to just acknowledge that, yeah, I'm not in a good situation and I need to get out. And saying that, you can't always make the decision to say, yeah, I'm going to leave like right now. Despite what everyone out on the outside says, you can't always just leave. So sometimes the most powerful moment that you can have for yourself, and the most powerful moment of control that you can have that will eventually move you further, is just to take that time to say, you know what, it's not okay. What's going on with me is not okay. And I acknowledge that I'm in a situation where somebody is trying to take my power away from me, and somebody is trying to like step on me and hold me down, and isn't letting me use my voice, and isn't letting me feel things the way that I want to feel, and so sometimes you can't physically remove yourself from that situation, and sometimes you can't allow yourself to be outwardly so powerful, but inside you can at least say, I acknowledge that this is what's going on, and I acknowledge that it will need to change somehow, some way, and that it'll take small steps. But the most powerful moment is to just acknowledge that, so if that's the only control that you have right now, that's okay, but allow yourself to see that, and allow yourself to really kind of gather your emotions and feel what's going on. But over and over and over again, it's just repeating in my mind over and over and over again. Trust your gut, trust your gut, trust your gut, trust your gut. Don't make any rash decisions. Take the time to look at things. This is like the Eight of Cups in reverse. It's like a should I stay, should I go card. So take the time to look at how things are. When you're thinking, should I stay or should I go? And the answer is, I have to go. Well, then look at how can you do that safely? Or, if you're not in a situation where you're not unsafe, but maybe it's a toxic work environment or a toxic friendship, you don't always just want to make a snap decision. Sometimes you want to make sure that, do I have work lined up for me in the future if I leave this job? Do I want to hurt my friend who I need to distance from? How am I going to deal with this situation? If you're deciding to stay in something, then how can you keep yourself safe, or how can you keep your emotions protected? And how can you keep yourself able to effectively communicate and let the other party know, or let, your boss know, or your coworkers know, let these people know that here are my emotional needs. This is what I'm feeling. This is how I need my needs met. And this is how I would like us all to interact and communicate with each other. But it's really honoring your emotional needs, and honoring, what you need, and honoring your intuition, because you don't want to squash that down, because when you squash that down, you don't want to become the Page of Cups. You don't want to become the Queen of Swords and have that inability to communicate, or because you're suppressing your emotions, you tend to communicate in a really nasty manner, or, you're upset about something. We've all done it. We're upset about something. We're holding on to the emotion. And instead of saying why we're upset, instead we just kind of like snap at somebody, or, make a rude comment, or, get angry, a little bit more angrier than we normally would. So you don't want to suppress things so much that you bring yourself to that point. You want to honor the emotions that you have and express them. In that, it is also wise that if you can reach out to a trusted individual in your life, whether it's a friend, counselor, family member, if you are in an abuse situation, reaching out to those resources, your local domestic violence shelter, the National Domestic Violence Hotline, anything like that, just where you're reaching out so that you don't get stuck in this spot. And so you don't get stuck in this, waffling, do I stay, do I go, taking those little bits of power back, and just please, again, don't panic. Don't freak out. Don't get hysterical about anything, but trust your gut. It's there's a reason that you have intuition, and it's okay to be connected to it. It doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you frou-frou or woo or crazy. You know, if your gut is telling you something, listen to it. All right, on to set number 3. We have got Unbound, the Artist, okay, the Artist in reverse, the Moon, and the Page of Swords. And Unbound, the blurb on this says, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. And the Moon appears here and here. So that is interesting. I think this Page of Swords, you know, Page of Swords is, if you look at this card, he's flying along, and he's flying pretty quickly. And he's got a grip on this sword, and he's not letting this sword go, but he's lost a few feathers because things are getting windy and stormy. I don't know if you can see here, but there are storm clouds brewing here. It's kind of closing in on him. And I feel that this is very related to right now, like this moment right now where everybody is feeling like everything is changing so quick. Like the world is changing so quick. The messages that we're getting every day are changing, not just hour by hour, but sometimes they change minute by minute. And it feels like everything is coming at you like boom, 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 right? You know, so I feel like this is what you're feeling. And the Page of Swords tends to be, you know, pages are younger energy and childlike energy. Now, this is somebody who they're very sharp-witted, and you're able to kind of like think on the spot and come up with resources and plans and ideas quickly, and you're able to really be expansive with your mind and consistently able to consistently willing to learn more. With the Page, sometimes with that younger energy, it might be like, hey, my idea is the greatest and I'm not going to listen to yours. So you want to make sure that you are kind of open to receiving communication. But I do feel like that communication is coming at you like so quick, so it may feel overwhelming to the point where you're getting distracted. And then, so we have the Artist in reverse and the Moon. And the Artist in reverse is distracted energy. I'm going to put him upright. Now, this card, the Artist, is specific to this deck. It's called Ethereal Visions. It's an illuminated tarot deck. So you don't find this. This is not part of traditional tarot. And the artist is like creative and visionary energy. You know, you can see he's looking off into the distance, much like this woman here with the Moon, just kind of like looking up at the stars, looking off into the distance, and, you know, being connected with your creativity, your vision, and all that. So when that's in reverse, you're feeling a disconnect. You're feeling distracted, and I think that's overwhelming because of this Page of Swords energy, you know, because of all the information that's coming in to you so quickly that you feel like you have to constantly be making these quick decisions and thinking like on the fly and on the spot. With the Moon card though, and this is coming out in every reading for today in this whole pick a card set, everybody is being encouraged to trust their gut and trust their intuition. You know, while you are dealing with your intellect, while you are thinking, while you are trying your best to maintain a clear vision and kind of like get yourself out of this distracted point, don't forget to be very connected to your vision and make sure that you're seeing things for like how they really are and not getting caught up in illusions, not getting caught up, you know, great for this time of history right now, not getting caught up in, you know, people trying to be, you know, incite like panic and whatnot, you know, not getting caught up in that illusion, you know, not getting caught up in the illusion that you need 1,400 rolls of toilet paper. Do you need 48? Probably. Do you need 1,400? No, you know, so it's not allowing yourself to be, it's being able to see through some of that bullshit and not get caught up, but also honoring your intuition, trusting your gut. Like everybody in all the readings have gotten that message to trust your gut. And this is like releasing old habits. And I feel like when we're in a panic and when things seem uncertain and unsure, and maybe we're a bit disconnected from that intuition, we tend to fall into some old bad habits. We tend to fall into some like old behaviors that may not be the healthiest. So you want to release the need to do that and, kind of move on from that, to not fall into any old habits or any traps or any, difficult ways of thinking where maybe you kind of get yourself anxious and doubting and whatnot. Additionally, this is taking time for yourself as well and connecting with yourself again, since we're all going through, all this news changing rapidly and things changing in our lives rapidly, and, distancing ourselves and worrying about our health and the health of our loved ones and whatnot. It's easy to get so caught up in that day to day and all day long, so that when you lay your head on the pillow, you're not able to sleep and your mind starts to wander and it starts to get scattered and you're anxious. So this is encouraging you to take those moments, if you can, each day to just check in with yourself, going, how am I feeling? What is my intuition telling me? What is my inner wisdom telling me? And really listening to that, really being in touch with that, So I think everyone's had an interesting reading today. You guys are definitely interesting as well. So be clear-headed, be clear in your communications with people, speak from a very balanced place, balancing your emotions and your intellect as well. Try not to get caught up in other people. And I feel like too, with the Page of Swords and the Moon together, people are watching you. And people are looking to you to see how you react. And I feel like you're in a bit of a leader position. And people are depending on you, and they're looking at you and watching you and seeing how you react to everything going on right now, because you're their guide. And they're interested in the way that you think and the way that you see things. And just like you should trust your gut, they're trusting your gut as well. So acknowledge that position that you hold with them right now. All right, so very interesting readings today. If you have any questions, if you need anything clarified, please don't hesitate to ask me, to reach out to me. I do have information linked that if you want your own private reading, you can definitely set that up with me. I hope this resonated with a lot of you. And remember, wash your hands, stay safe, stay healthy. We're going to be okay. Just stay smart, safe, and healthy about it. Love to all of you and have a wonderful day. Thank you. Bye-bye.